You're listening to The Breakfast Show with Ben and Liam. They're on your radio, and that's why you can't see them. So stay for a while, they're gonna make you smile. And whatever you do, don't touch that dial. You're feeling fine, waking up to the sunshine with Ben and Liam.
G'day there, podcaster, and welcome. Sorry,
I'm so sorry. That was quite rude of me. You'd think after almost 10 years of doing radio together, we'd sort of know when the other one's talking and when to
please,
come in.
the floor is yours.
Oh, no, I don't want the floor.
No, seriously, the floor is yours.
Seriously? I don't know what I'm going to do on the floor by myself.
Be my guest. You know how to do it.
It's so nerve-wracking.
From the start.
Okay. Well, hey, this is some of our favourite bits from the week.
That was horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Just without you, I'm so lost. You know,
Well, then don't ever cut me off again.
I'm so sorry.
Ever.
I'm really sorry.
Because I know where you live.
Okay, man, I won't do it again.
Good. All right, enjoy the podcast.
How's this for a wardrobe malfunction? You would have seen this over the weekend. It went viral. Disaster struck in the 400-metre decathlon at the Under-20s World Championships after Italy's Alberto Nonino. His genitalia came well and truly out of his shorts in the run. He's really doing his darndest. I think he actually gets it back in a few times.
Yep.
And, his little Alberto's saying, no, I need some fresh air. It's too hot in this race.
Yep.
This poor guy, he's not won the race. He did have to go back a little bit to get it in there.
Yep.
And it's not gone well for him. This has all happened as well because obviously... He was just wearing some skins or just some jocks even. It just wouldn't happen. I think he's just like wearing loose shorts and that's it. He might like it free down there. I, for one, have never understood it when people do it wearing jeans and that sort of thing. Yuck. I think it's only like if you've been to the beach or the pool or something, you know, have like another pair of jocks. Mm-hmm. You sort of just got to cop it.
Yep.
But no, not for me. Accidental flashes. We don't want on-purpose flashes.
No.
So that's a very different thing. But just accidental flashes. I couldn't think of anything worse than this happening at a big race. But, I mean, God forbid it happened at a sports day or something like that. You'd never, ever recover from something like that.
We're talking guys, we're talking women, we're talking any body part. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be picky. If you have a story, it might have been you might have witnessed it. If you'd like to share, 13 24 10 is our number. If you get on as well to share your story, you're in the draw for Nova's first class and $50,000 for you and three mates.
Sarah, accidental flashes. It happened to you?
Yes, it did. I went for a surf one day and came home. I was able to walk home from the surf into the backyard. I thought, I just lived with my husband, so I thought I'll just take everything off and I'll do the quick dash to the shower.
Yep.
Yeah.
So walked in the house, completely nude, full frontal, walked into basically the living area with my husband and one of his mates over.
Gee.
I was very embarrassed.
Oh, man. What did you do? You just sprinted back into the shower?
I just
what?
bolted into the nearest room and my husband just got me a towel and I went to the shower.
Oh, it's so awkward.
He comes over for a coffee every day now, just after the surf.
Sarah at the beach again?
When's she coming back? When's she due back? Be good to see her before she...
Hey, I'll have another beer. I'll have one more beer.
Oh, why not? Twist my arm. Yeah.
Samantha, you had an accidental flash at your sports day?
Yeah, so it wasn't me. It was like one of the boys from my class.
Okay.
We were obviously at sports day playing tug of war.
Yeah.
And he's like fallen down, and as he's fallen, like they've pulled the rope and he's just slid along the ground.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously like his junk kind of fell out.
Yeah.
And it was,
In front of everyone. That
Yeah,
is soul destroying. That is soul destroying. Such a funny...
And it was like one of those tug of war events that like, it's kind of like the whole school is around.
Yeah. It's the big one.
Yeah.
The big one is like probably for the win.
Yeah. It's such a funny event as well. I know I'm not going to get into why.
Yeah.
But the tug of war, the fact that it happened at the tug of war, just really, you know what I mean? It's almost too good to be true. Did he ever live it down, that kid, Samantha?
No, absolutely not. But I don't think anyone ever mentioned it to him afterwards either.
Yeah, they kind of just laugh on his back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're on the radio telling it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's crying somewhere. No, it's not real. It's not real. Oh, it's so brutal. What non-sexual thing does your partner do that turns you on? Just a little bit. It's just something that goes, oh, I liked that. 13 24 10 is the number. We've never necessarily spoken about this, but I think I know what my fiance's is, Ben. Feels a little weird talking about it, but our dog, Toby, he sort of sleeps in our room, and on the weekends, if there's too much movement in the morning, he gets really excited and he obviously wants a walk. And sometimes he gets like really excited and he starts barking at the bed, and that gets annoying. And so she's always like very calm and like nice with him. And she goes like, Toby, no barking. No, back to bed. No barking. No barking. And normally what I'll do is I'll fire up and I bark once and one time only. But I make it loud. I make it aggressive and he listens every time. And I feel like she loves it. Yeah. I feel like it's real.
So
I feel like it's real daddy energy. Just like she's like, oh, he's running the house.
So you're saying you yelling at the dog turns your fiance on?
Maybe a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
I just give him a good, Jerry, no barking! And he's like, comes back into bed. That's right. You listen to Dad. You don't want to make Dad angry.
Has she told you she likes it, or did she make a noise? Or
it is a bit of that energy. It's just in the air. She's like, "Jeez, what a bloody dog listened to you first time. I couldn't get him to listen to me, and then you just." And whilst I was telling that little story, I got a text from Sarah, my fiancée, saying, I did not approve of this. And I suppose this is something that we've never talked about before, but yeah, it's kind of awkward now that she's hearing it on the radio. So but I thought, good time, better place than any to ask her if my thoughts are true. So she joins us now, my fiancée Sarah.
They're not. It's a very confident thing to think.
Yeah.
it is, isn't it?
No, yeah. For starters, I think you're lying because I think you're embarrassed now that I've brought it up. But you've got to admit there's a little part of you that enjoys it.
It's effective. It's good.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Right. So what is it? Is it the tone, or is it the fact that the dog listens when I get angry, or what? Is it just the sheer rage, but controlled? Like
Controlled rage.
It's controlled, it's directed, and it's not. You know what I mean? Like, what is it?
Bit of everything there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want me to do one now for you?
No.
Amy, enough barking! Come back to bed. Good boy.
I must say, I get the vibe that you'll be getting talking to when you get home.
It's not a great thing.
Thanks, Liam.
I'm going to be working a little bit late today, sweetie. I've got a bit to do here, so I might see you tomorrow when everything when it calms down a little bit. I both need to turn our keys at the same time to open up the forbidden folder. Do this every week. It's where we keep all the stuff that the boss has said no to in the past, and I love this one.
I am fascinated by what we're about to talk about.
Have you ever been on the dark web? You know this internet that's like the sewers of the normal internet, and it's hard to get into.
It's the yin to the internet's yang. It's the evil cousin.
Yeah.
To the internet.
You can buy drugs, you can buy weapons. I think anything goes is the general consensus. I've never been on it. I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of bad stuff on it, but I feel like without knowing too much about it, I kind of want to see it. Like, I just want to say I've seen it.
Yeah. And it's strange because growing up, you would think you would come into a situation where one of your friends or someone you know would have access to the dark web, but I've never seen it.
Now, obviously, you're probably going to want to remain anonymous if you do go on there regularly, because chances are you're probably tied up with something illegal.
Not necessarily, though. Just because you're on there doesn't mean
You're not going on there to
illegal.
play Line Rider, are you? You can do that on the normal internet.
I don't know what you're on there for.
I'm pretty sure you're on there for bad stuff if you're on the dark web. I don't think you're just on there to just muck around.
Well, give us a buzz. 13 24 10. Have you ever been on the dark web?
Now, good news and bad news. No one's called up, obviously, because no one would admit to ever being on the dark web.
Is that the bad news?
That's the bad news. Good news, Australia's leading expert on the dark web, author Eileen Ormsby, joins us.
Now, some of our listeners would have heard of the dark web. Some wouldn't have. In a nutshell, what is the dark web?
It's like a parallel World Wide Web. So it's just really the name that we give to the websites that can't be searched for or accessed on the regular web, or what we might call the clear web. So to get to these websites, you need a special software. And once you've downloaded that, it'll open up a browser window that looks just like your normal browser window.
Yeah.
But the difference is that browser window can access websites that your normal browser can't access. So if you were to put that URL into the address bar of your normal browser, it'll just come up as page not found.
I mean, can I ask, Eileen, obviously you're quite knowledgeable on this, but have you been on it yourself? Have you had a bit of a squiz?
I've been on it pretty much every day for the last 10 years.
Oh, my God.
Right. So you've got the software. Is it like eBay for drugs?
Yeah, well, look, the main websites on the dark web are what we call the darknet markets, and they are literally like eBay or Amazon for drugs.
Wow.
You go on there and you see these pretty pictures of all these drugs that you could possibly pop into your basket. You pop them into your basket. You check out the feedback from people that have already bought them, and then you can buy those drugs and have them sent directly to your home.
It's crazy how they haven't been able to properly crack down on it. I mean, you sort of hear stories about weapons and stuff as well. Could you feasibly in Australia buy a hand grenade from the dark web, Eileen?
No, not average Joe. Like if you had the right sort of terrorist connections and that sort of thing, then you might use the dark web to do that. But you can't go and find a market where you can pop a hand grenade into your basket and have it shipped to you.
Okay.
Or if you did find it, it's someone scamming you.
Gotcha. I mean, why can't they shut the dark web down? Obviously, they're trying to do it. Is it an impossible task?
To shut down the dark web itself, well, there's nothing illegal about the dark web.
Yeah.
So the software, which you use to access it, was actually developed in conjunction with the US military to protect military secrets.
Really?
So there's a lot of good reasons for it. Whistleblowers use it to upload documents to make sure that they can't be traced back to them.
Right.
It's just that, like with any great tool, criminals will also know how to use it.
They've weaponized it.
Oh, man. Well, this has been such a fascinating chat. Eileen Ormsby is the author of The Darkest Web, Silk Road, and other books. Silk Road is the most fascinating thing ever, by the way. If you haven't read about that, I mean, do yourself a favour. I mean, I think we could talk to you all day, Eileen, but thank you for answering some of our questions about the dark web.
Thanks so much.
And we're joined by producer Belle, a.k.a. The Love Rat.
Love Rat, Bill's a love rat. Love Rat, Bill's a love rat.
We have an email here to the loverat@novafm.com.au. It's from Anonymous. This is a bit of a classic. I'm sure everyone's been at this sort of spot at some point in their life. It says, "Hi, Love Rat. I've recently broken up with my girlfriend. The worst part about this is that I not only lose a girlfriend, but I also lose my best friend."
Aww.
I was wondering if you have any advice on how we may develop a friendship after having feelings for one another. Cheers. Any advice would help. Producer Belle, the Love Rat, what's your take?
Look, I think my advice might be the advice you don't want to hear. I am one that I have always been friends with my exes, or most of my exes, because we usually split up like, hey, this just isn't right for either of us at the time, or whatever it is. It's never been an ugly breakup, so I've kept, following them on social media, maybe send them a happy birthday here and there. It's all just amicable.
I think, reading between the lines with Anonymous's email here is, and I could be totally wrong, I reckon that she has done the breakup.
Potentially.
And he still has feelings. That's why he's going, well, how do we be friends?
The worst bit is, it's probably the tough love, but I think you need a circuit breaker, and I think you need to give yourself least 6 to
If
12
that's the
months
case, then
to
yes.
just,
Yeah,
find your own way, and then hopefully you can build a friendship after that.
Because for me, you're only going to drag out that hurt if you're trying to be
time.
friends.
Big time.
I think that does apply if it was ugly or if you still have feelings like.
So you've
maybe-
never had an ugly breakup?
Not an ugly one. Nah.
All right, well, look, why don't we put it to you then? 13, 24, 10. Can you be friends with your ex? Majority in this room is saying you can't. Bell's saying you can.
Olivia, what do you think? Can you be friends with your ex?
No, I don't think you can. Speaking from personal experience, I think that it blurs the lines a little bit, and in some cases I don't think it's because you want to be friends. I think it's because you don't want to let go, and
Yep.
it does make the pain of a breakup a little bit more raw, because you get to unfortunately possibly experience them moving on first and before you, and it
Yeah.
just gets very, very difficult.
Especially if you're upset, you're like, no, it's totally fine. We're just friends, right? We always
Yeah.
said that.
I
Yeah.
guess it can muddy the waters a little bit. Yeah.
Let's see what Jess thinks. Can you be friends with your ex, Jess?
Of course you can. I am still best mates with my ex-husband, who I was together for 15 years with.
15 years, wow.
My current partner, we've been together nearly 10, and we all holiday together.
You're kidding,
But then
Jess.
I'm assuming here, though, the thing with this is, though, Jess, and maybe I'm wrong, is there kids?
There is, but
Yeah. So-
when I started the relationship with my current partner, I said to him, heads up, we're best friends, and if you want a relationship with me, then you have to accept him too.
Jess, you don't have to answer
Holiday.
this, but I feel like if you were best friends, well, then why did you break up?
Because
You don't have to answer that if it's like, super personal, that's fine.
because he's a gamer and I'm not a gamer, and different interests.
So you broke up because he likes playing video games?
That, you couldn't have said anything worse to Ben, the video game man. He's going to defend that guy to the
I
grave.
love that.
Oh, right.
Wow, Jess, okay, interesting take.
Get rid of
and-
those gamers.
Look, that is the
I
thing.
reckon next week let's do why did you break up? Because
Oh, yeah. It's not
that's-
even from an email. Why'd you dump him?
Why'd you get divorced?
This is always an interesting part of the week. We get people to text through 0400 919 919. Just ask us anything. Honestly, nothing off limits. Ben and I will do our best to answer everything truthfully. Normally, it gets a little bit awkward, and it's just funny, hearing what people want to know.
Producer Belle has got the text line phone in her hand. You're just going to read out a couple of these questions, and
Yep.
Liam and I will answer them truthfully.
Okay, let's get into it. First question. How much do you both weigh?
Why would anyone want to know that?
I'm going to put this back on you, Bill. How much do you think I weigh?
Oh, don't do that.
Go on.
I think you're going to say to Belle, how much do you weigh?
How much do you reckon?
I'm not good with weight.
All right, give it a crack.
85.
Spot on. It's
85.
84.3.
Yeah, right. So if I'm not doing anything, like if I'm just kind of living a healthy life, not, binge eating, I'm about 75. I've recently started drinking protein shakes and I've gotten up to 80.
That's a good thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to put on weight.
Yeah, right.
So I'm trying to get to
And
85.
this is me, pretty much my level of me trying to be fit. Like I was over 90 last
You're bulking.
year. Well, I'm not. I'm trying to do the opposite. I think I'd like to swap with you. I'd like to see what 75 feels like for a week.
All right, next question. This one's come in from Stacey on the text line. She said, this is just for you, Ben. Ben, do you find Liam genuinely funny?
It sort of feels like maybe Stacey doesn't. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting.
I do genuinely find Liam funny. I would say Liam's the funniest person I know.
Okay,
That's sweet. I find him the funniest person I know too.
that's good. Okay, next question.
Come here, mate.
Okay. What do you guys think happens after you die?
These are getting deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I like to think there's a heaven, and I don't know what it looks like. And I also haven't done much work to get there, but I don't know. I don't really think about it too much, but I'm like, I like to think that it doesn't just end. You know what I mean?
I definitely think it ends. I think there's absolutely nothing after you die. And then you get a little bit anxious when you think about eternity. When you think about how long eternity is of nothingness, then you do get a bit of a weird feeling in your stomach. But I think when you die, you don't come back as something else. I don't think there is
See,
something
I'm
else
still.
after.
That's I said heaven, but I could come back as a monkey. That's still. I'm open to all religions and possibilities at this point. I'm just hoping there's something. I don't care if I come back as a gecko, as long as I've still got my thoughts and I'm, like I'm sort of there, present. Like, yeah. It better not just be darkness. I need someone to talk to, is what I'm saying. Like, I get lonely just when I'm at home by myself.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. You won't have any thoughts.
Yeah, no.
You'll just be gone.
Well, don't tell me that. Now I'm starting to stress out.
Okay, final question. Now, this one is quite personal. If you could sleep with one person who isn't your partner, who would it be?
Brittany for sales.
What?
I'm joking. There is no one in sales called Brittany, as far as I know. I just thought it'd be funny to say that really quickly. What do you mean? What do you mean, like a hall pass?
Yeah,
or something?
yeah, I
Like a
guess
hall
so,
pass.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Sarah and I have discussed this, but I would hope if the opportunity came up with Hermione Granger, Emma Watson, I would hope that if that was on the cards,
Hang on, so as Emma or as Hermione?
as Hermione, definitely Hallows Part 2 onwards, obviously. I suppose, yeah. Emma Watson, okay. Hermione Granger, like with the wand and all, that would be it's quite the treat.
Ben?
Zendaya.
What?
Zendaya's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think she's like, besides my wife, perfection.
Hey, good save. You almost got done there. Ooh.
What we'd love to do on 13-24-10 is most annoying phone habits.
Yeah, maybe it's something that you're doing that other people find annoying, or it's, someone close to you and you just cannot stand the way they use their phone.
I'll go first. It's when I think it's particularly old people do this, but they walk around with their phone on speaker and they talk like in public, like put it to your head, like talk to it like a normal person.
Yeah, it's because they're worried about the waves.
Is that why they do it?
Or
I think they're just old.
get some headphones, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's an idea for you. I hate it when people put the screen lock on. So then your phone can't, when you want to watch a video and you flick it to landscape and then it doesn't work.
That's just
locked.
you. That's a weird
Why
one.
do you lock it? Why do you need to lock it?
Because then when I'm in bed and I'm laying in bed on my phone, it's always flipping. It's flipping.
Yeah, but I
around.
don't lie. Like when I'm lying on the bed, I'm lying flat on my back and looking at my phone. I'm not lying to the side.
You're alone in that one.
I can't process that way.
Abney joins us now. This is your mum. You're 14 years old. What's your mum doing on her phone?
Hi, Ben and Liam. Yeah, so my mum doesn't swipe up once she's opened an app, so she has like 100 apps still open on her phone.
No! Oh God,
Mum!
You gotta swipe them away after. Yeah, Abney. So you're young. You're 14, so you wouldn't have been around in this era. But what really used to annoy me about Mum is when Instagram first came out, you couldn't zoom on it. And mums would always go, give it here, and they'd try and zoom, and then they'd end up double liking someone's photo, and you go, oh no.
That is a good one. Thank you very much.
Ash, annoying phone habits.
Yeah, hi Ben and Liam. My fiance won't hang up the phone when we've finished having a conversation.
What do you mean?
He just puts it in his pocket.
He's just done. He hasn't hung up.
My dad does that. They just forget. They just assume you're going to do it.
Yeah, so we'll just like wrap up the conversation, and then he'll just continue going about his day and then leave me to hang the phone up.
which is funny, but it's also good because you're getting a little bit of insight.
Yeah,
you're
be
hearing
honest.
What's
Ash,
he saying after?
Be honest. Do you sometimes hang on a little bit longer just to see what he's up to?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, if he's at work, I want to know what he's doing.
Yeah, just snoop around, see who he's having lunch with. Sarah, most annoying phone habits.
I did a big cull on the weekend, so I went from 33,000 emails down to 28,500.
What are you talking about?
So do you never open them, or how do you get to 33,000 emails?
These are read, unread. I just haven't deleted them or sorted them. So these are sort of work emails and personal emails.
It makes you feel like you just need to throw your phone at a brick wall and
especially
just start all over again.
To go from 33 to 28, you've only got through 5,000. You've got 28,000 to go.
There'd be so many just like Domino's, pizza deals and like just random like junk mail in there. Oh, nah, no good, Sarah. That's revved me right up now.
Liam, I received a very embarrassing photo of you in middle school via Instagram last night from a man called Jason.
Yeah.
So a big shout out to Jason. Thank you very much for sending this.
I don't know if I went to school with a Jason.
Well, I'm not saying this person went to school with you. They've just got a copy somehow of your, I believe, yearbook.
Well, I suppose he could have been older or younger than me at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think from the photo, you look like you're in about year 7. I'll show you the photo and then I'll tell you what the photo's surrounding. So that's you.
Oh.
Sweet haircut.
Yeah.
It looks like a haircut from the 70s.
Yeah, I don't know what I was... You know what? That was around the time I was trying to look like Anakin Skywalker. And it obviously wasn't working for me. I've got SpongeBob's teeth.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's sort of... that fringe is very straight, isn't it?
Yeah.
I look like a Gallagher brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon year 7? You look to me like you're about roughly year 7. I'd say middle school.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
What do you think, high school?
Yeah, that's me in year 12, actually. No, I think that's probably more around year 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I've put the photo up onto the Ben and Liam Instagram story. You can see it for yourself.
Oh, great.
But I like the thing that surrounds it. So, is it true that you were the junior schooling Elder Green captain?
It is true, as well as middle schooling and senior schooling.
Yep.
So, yeah, went all the way through for the green team, that's for sure.
They've done a little profile on the Elder Green
They
captain.
did that with more of the higher profile
Yeah.
students who were involved in the community captain program.
I thought it could be interesting, like 15 years on or however
Yeah.
long. We go back through some of the questions you were asked and you see what answers you give.
To see if they sort of match up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, favourite band / singer, who would that have been?
Oh, I mean, guys, the Beatles.
You said U2.
So, yeah, whilst the other kids were sort of into Blink and Green Day and Destiny's Child, I was more of a U2 guy. Not a lot of 10-year-olds doing the Joshua Tree back to back.
What was your favourite food?
Curry. I don't know, my favourite food now is probably curry.
You said pizza.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, back in those days, nothing beat a meat lovers whilst listening to the rattle and hum.
Do you remember who your favourite teacher was?
Mr. Ninky?
Yeah, it is.
Well, there you go. I mean, some things for life, you know?
The last one I liked was your advice to the other students. What would your advice to the other students have been, Liam?
I honestly don't know.
Try your hardest and be confident.
That's actually, stand by that. That's some good words. Obviously had a wise head on my shoulders. I'm listening to all that you too.
Also joined in the studio by producer Belle. Now, Belle, I'm a little bit confused. So, did you or did you not get proposed to?
No, I didn't get. I almost got proposed to.
Wow.
the other day.
Almost doesn't legally count.
So I just celebrated 1 year with Luke, my boyfriend, and it was lovely. He, gave me a few gifts and stuff, and he said, "I've got one amazing gift left for you."
Wow.
I was like, "Ooh, okay." And I came home the other day, walked in, and on the dining table there was a little small aqua-coloured Tiffany's ring box.
Yeah,
Tiffany blue.
Now, the Tiffany box, he knows that when and if I get proposed to, I want it to be a Tiffany's ring. So I start going, the classic, oh my God, okay. And so I opened it, and I had the ribbon around it and everything, and I pulled the ribbon, I opened it, and it was AirPods in the Tiffany's box.
Oh,
now,
Luke.
I will say, AirPods, amazing gift.
Great gift.
Amazing gift.
Amazing.
I really wanted some. I couldn't afford them, and so he,
it's
as
awesome.
our 1 year, got me AirPods. But the thing is, because it was in a Tiffany's box, I kind of got really angry.
I feel like he's played himself there because if you open it and it's AirPods, happy days. But to have the Tiffany, I get, it's funny, but
Luke has made an absolute rookie's error in that he's spent a decent amount of money, bought you a genuinely good gift in AirPods,
Yep.
but then he's royally screwed himself by making you think that it's going to be a Tiffany ring,
I can't
and then it's AirPods.
I can't really see how he thought that was going to go down well.
All right, 13 24 10 is our number. Give us a buzz if you got a story to share about I thought they were proposing because.
Sam joins us now. You thought you were being proposed to?
Yeah, congratulations to Belle and Luke for making it to the 1 year, by the way. So because we were boyfriend and girlfriend, obviously,
Yeah.
went to Paris, which was pretty exciting. City of Love.
Yeah.
He flew us over there, got really excited. 5-year anniversary while we were there, did
Wow.
a cruise, got my nails done, ready to
Sam,
go.
it feels like, everything you've said
Is pointing towards-
it's textbook. It's as plain, it's as clear as day. You even said
Eiffel
you had the
Tower at
nails
night.
done.
Our Eiffel
Yeah.
Tower at night.
There's
Beautiful.
the spot. There's probably 18 people doing it around you at the same time.
Yeah, but the day went quietly, and I was like, all right, cool, no worries. Nighttime came, dinner cruise, nighttime, Eiffel Tower. All right, didn't happen, that's okay, still got time. went back to the hotel. My friends who we flew over with then announced their engagement on my 5-year anniversary.
You were so happy for them, I'm sure. So happy.
Thrilled.
Now, so you were just boyfriend, girlfriend at that point, Sam. You're now married because you almost said husband before. How did he do it in the end?
He showed the ring to my friends that I didn't know about, and he just kept saying the moment wasn't right. The moment wasn't right. So he carried it around in his pocket for the 4 or 5 weeks that we were actually overseas. My friend's like, that's it, you're doing it right now. She dragged him to the cruise ship info desk. They got some envelopes and in black permanent marker wrote, "Will you marry me?" And then out on the deck of the cruise ship, he got down on one knee.
Gorgeous. Just with some Sharpie on the... I bet he thought at that point, the moment's just right here.
Sam, thank you very much. Polly joins us now.
We were in America. We had our 7-year anniversary.
Yep.
And we were sitting out the front of the Bellagio having dinner with the fountains in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Out comes this plate. It says happy anniversary, a little Tiffany box. Inside that Tiffany box, an infinity ring.
What even is that?
What you give to your best friend in year 7, you know?
Are you for real?
Yeah.
What a pig.
I appreciated it, but deep down I was thinking, why is this not a diamond ring?
You were playing it cool, and then you went into your room and listened to Joni Mitchell and started crying like Emma Thompson in Love Actually.
It's a debate, a big debate. Who will win medallion?
Anyone can have a say on who wins the big debate, whether it be Ben or myself.
You're definitely going to have an opinion on today's debate. I like to think that Adam and Eve were debating this.
Yeah, it's cats versus dogs. And I am a big dog man. Ben, you are traditionally a cat guy. You also now have a dog. So
Well,
you have
yeah.
an interesting perspective.
I would say I'm probably more of a dog person than you are, to be honest. I grew up with more. I had like 40 dogs growing up. Having said that, I do also have 2 cats. And I've learnt that there's so many intricacies with cats. They are super funny. I'll save it for my debate.
Yeah,
I'll save
I
it for
don't
my
know.
debate because it's easy to get ahead of yourself.
I'm not a cat guy. I
know you're not.
People are like, ooh, funny cat videos online. Like, lame. I just like, watching dogs be goofy. Slow,
Being
slobbery and happy.
reunited with their dads that were in the army.
Yeah, that's the best. Okay, well, we both have 45 seconds each. You think you're running more at 30?
Well, no, I've got probably 45 seconds, but the time is 30.
Cool. Yeah, we're still working out the new way of doing the big debate. Well, Ben, you have as much time as you want. Your debate starts now.
The Egyptians worshipped cats as gods, and for good reason. You don't have to walk them. They're cheaper because they eat less food, and you can train them to use a real toilet. Dogs stink and make a big mess. Yuck. Cats are pure and clean. A study conducted in 2017 says cat owners have higher IQs in respect to their dumb dog-owning counterparts.
What?
Dogs love everyone. Cats, on the other hand, are more standoffish. When a dog showers you with affection, it might be nice, but everyone else is getting that same treatment. When a cat warms up to you, you feel special and unique, like you've earned it. According to research conducted by a New Zealand researcher in 2009, dogs have a 2.1 time environmental impact on the environment compared to cats. That's one heck of a carbon paw print. In closing, cats rule and dogs drool all over your house and your furniture.
Look, I know the time went for 30 seconds and I said you had 45, but I think that was 2 minutes 40.
That was not, that was
You just took
45.
as much time as you wanted, didn't you? Okay, well, let's get into it. Dogs are man's best friend. They help the blind. They keep our borders safe. What are cats known for? Coughing up furballs and not dying. Having 9 lives is unnatural. It's witchcraft, I tell you, and it can't be trusted. Dogs get so excited when you get home. They're bouncing off the walls. Sometimes if you go to the toilet long enough, they're even excited after that. Cats couldn't give a rat's. They don't want to know you. They also poo in a sandbox. It's weird. Everyone who has a cat in their house just stinks. It's got a cat smell. I'm also allergic to them, and a lot of people are, I know. Have you ever heard of a dog allergy? It's not a thing.
I feel like you fizzled towards the end.
I didn't fizzle.
You
I
fizzled.
Just using my time wisely.
You saying my house stinks?
A little bit.
All right, look, you get to have an opinion on this. You can text us what you think, 0400 919 919. Cats versus dogs. Who won the big debate? Was it me saying cats? Was it Liam saying dogs?
Producer Belle has the results.
I do. I'll just flag firstly a lot of texts coming through saying Liam choked.
I didn't choke,
You
guys.
did.
What specific part did when did I choke?
You got to the end and you slowed down. I reckon you fumbled a little bit and then you choked.
Well, at least I didn't speak well over my time.
But I will say
Yes.
it is close.
Belle, I feel like you take this result very personally because you're a passionate cat supporter.
I keep refreshing, just getting those last few texts in,
Just
just
making
so
sure.
I can win. Okay, winning by just 5%.
Whoa.
With 55 in total.
Gee.
Dogs win. Liam, you win.
That was a debate, a big debate. We now have the winner.
Let the dogs out. Look, the idea of going to a nightclub with your parents is enough to make most people cringe, but our next guest, Ben, goes to the club with her dad to pick up guys. Alice, does this actually work?
Well, it has worked this time,
Oh, so
but
you-
it's got me in a bit of trouble in the past.
Yeah, okay. So you've made a boyfriend from this experience of using your dad as a wingman.
Correct. That's exactly what happened.
And so, and how does it work? Like, does your dad speak to the guys first, or like, I'm just so
We
confused.
had been out. We'd been out and we'd had a couple who were a bit refreshed. And so Dad was like, oh, I don't want to go home yet. So we just went to the local pub to have a couple of cleansing ales.
Yeah.
And there was this really, really hot guy sitting at the bar. And I obviously saw him as soon as I walked into the bar. But Dad, we were just sitting there chewing the fat. And then Dad's like, oh, my God, like, you keep complaining about being single. Have you seen the hot guy sitting at the bar? And I was like, yeah, of course I have. So Dad just jumps up and says, leave it with me, and goes up and asks what footy team they go for and says, are you guys single? Because that's my daughter over there. She's very single.
Whoa, that's so weird.
Right. I mean,
And then what? You're just sitting there like waving from afar.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing, and I was so awkward. But I had just, I'd been on so many bad dates. I'd done all the dating apps, and maybe a few weeks before that, I deleted them, and I'd been complaining to Dad about how crap the dating world was.
Yeah.
So he just took it into his own hands, and then we started all chatting together. And then they got up to leave, and Dad trying to chase them out and goes, you can't leave, let me buy you a beer. You guys haven't exchanged numbers.
I mean, it's actually very sweet of your dad, but do you think the guys find it a little intimidating? I mean, usually meeting the parents is a bit nerve-wracking, especially, the dad, from my experience. But, I mean, I suppose it's a good way to break the ice straight away, but do you find that sometimes people are a little
hesitant?
Well, this guy was pretty shy, and so then I was a bit scared because I was like, maybe he's completely not into me, but he was completely intimidated by my dad, so he just gave me his number because he felt bad.
Yeah, right.
And he thought the whole situation was a bit weird, so he thought I'd given him a fake number.
Yeah.
And so then the next morning I just kind of texted him and said, sorry about my dad with a laughing emoji.
Yeah.
Just to test the water, see if he actually was interested. And he wrote back straight away saying, it was an absolute treat to meet you guys. I wouldn't have come out either, but I had been checking you out as well. Let's get dinner.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
so
right.
now you've had a few dates now?
Oh, my God, we've had, this was maybe 2 months ago, and we've had heaps of dates, and he's now my boyfriend.
Oh, my God. So has he, I know he's already met your dad, but has he come over to meet the family yet?
He has, because Dad had met him so early and kept talking about him.
Yeah.
So then Mum got slightly jealous and was like, well, I don't know this guy. So we have to do a meeting of the parents quite early.
Like, on paper, Alice, it sounds so weird, but now that you're explaining it, I'm like, this is pretty good. This is actually pretty smart.
But
Like,
I
maybe-
would, if that was me in his situation, though, and the dad was chasing me out of the pub to try and give me the number, I'd think, that's like a
what's
no,
going on
no-go
here?
zone.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
It feels like an arranged marriage.
Well, I'm
doesn't it?
glad it's worked out for you, Alice.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty good. Got myself a boyfriend, no more dating apps. I'm pretty happy.
Laughing.
Liam, I'm about to repay a stranger's kindness.
Are you trying to say pay it forward without referencing the film starring Kevin Spacey?
I wasn't. But my dad was telling me a story yesterday. He was at a mate's place and he had his iPad and they were outside and he was showing his mate some photos on the iPad. After they were done chatting, he put it down on the bull bar of the car.
Right.
Just left it resting there.
That's a risky spot to put an iPad, I must admit.
It is, and you can see where this is going. They wrap up the chat, he jumps in the car, he drives home. He realises just before he gets home, I left the iPad
Of course.
on the bull bar.
Yeah.
And so he's fuming because he's going, well, I've lost that forever now. It's a fairly new iPad as well. And then his phone rings.
Right.
No caller ID. He answers it. He says, hello. and it was an elderly woman.
Right.
And she said, "Is this Murray Harvey?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes, speaking." She said, "Did you lose your iPad?" And he said, "I did. Have you found it?" And she said, "Yeah, I found it in the road."
What, an undamaged?
Undamaged.
It's
in the
fallen
middle.
off a bull bar going 110.
Yep. And then Dad said, "Well, how did you get my number? How did you call me?" And she said, "Oh, well, I guessed your code."
What?
Dad's code for his iPad was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ah, yes. No one's going to work that one out. Hidden in plain sight, Murray. Ah, I see what you've done. Well,
So I think obviously like a funny story, that's Dad's code, but also a very nice story in that this elderly woman,
yeah,
she found the iPad, then got into the iPad. So now
cracked the code.
She cracked the code. She's got a free iPad. She'd be loving this. But then she was nice enough to find Dad's number, then call him. And she waited on the side of the road for Dad to drive back to meet her to get the iPad back.
We should buy that woman an iPad.
That's what I pitched to the producers, and they said it was too expensive.
Really? Because that seems like where this is going. It seems like the obvious.
Yeah, I have got her number.
Oh, good.
It's punched in now. The best I could get from Nova bosses was $250 spa voucher.
It's not going to get you an iPad, is it?
It's still pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. Better than a kick in the shins.
All right, I don't know what her name is. I punched the number in. Let's give her a buzz and pay the good karma forward.
Hello, Nicole speaking.
Oh, g'day, Nicole. My name's Ben calling. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Did you find an iPad recently?
Why? I'm confused how you got my number.
So that was my dad's iPad, and I was just giving you a buzz.
Oh, okay. No, that's right. I'm like, how did you get my number?
Yeah. No, I didn't find your iPad or anything like that.
It freaked me out.
No, that's okay. Understandable. So my name's Ben, and I do a radio show with Liam, Ben and Liam on Nova.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
So Dad told me the story about how you found his iPad. So we thought we would return the favour. We didn't get you an iPad. but we did get you a $250 Endota Spa voucher so you can reward yourself for doing some good things.
Is this a joke?
No, it's true. I mean, do you know the show Ben and Liam on Nova?
I do, absolutely, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
It'd be a pretty weird prank for us to pull to get some random intel that you'd found an iPad and be like, now we're going to call her and pretend to give her a spa voucher.
So so Dad reckons that you just guessed the code.
Yes, I did, because it's so easy, so I thought I'll just quickly try it, which I did, and then obviously I got his phone number. So
Yeah.
I was going to tell him actually maybe to change his PIN.
Yeah. To be fair, Nicole, if you're silly enough to lose an iPad in the middle of the road, you're probably silly enough to make your code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, look, Nicole, we thought because of your kindness, we'd pay it forward, and we'll give you a $250 Endota Spa voucher, okay?
Okay, all right, no worries.
All right. You have a good day, Nicole.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Nicole. Still felt weird that we gave her an Endota Spa voucher. You know what I mean? Like, she was probably like, at every point, it seemed like we were going to give her an iPad.
I also felt bad saying she was an elderly woman. She didn't sound that old.
She sounded like at least 30 years younger than your dad, for sure. A friend of mine's kid is 6 years old and he wants an oddly specific job. I mean, most of the time kids, when they grow up, they want to be sports stars or astronauts. I wanted to be a fireman and the goalkeeper for Liverpool. None of those things eventuated. But not this kid. He's 6 years old. He wants to work at the pub. He wants to be the chef in the kitchen there. No real reason why. His parents don't know why. Suppose he likes the look of it. But
they must go there a lot.
Yeah, maybe mum and dad are having a lot of dinners.
Yeah.
You're probably not wrong there. But that is this kid's life goal.
Growing up, I never wanted to be like a fireman or a police officer.
You didn't? Because I used to see those trucks going past, Ben, and I thought, man, wouldn't it be, mainly for the attention angle, wouldn't it be great if everyone was looking at me going that fast with the flashing lights?
I wanted to race greyhounds.
Right. Yeah, that is pretty specific.
And then because mum and dad did it, so I guess I wanted to do it because they did it. And then as I got older, like around year 9, when it started becoming a bit more like, okay, what am I actually going to do? I wanted to be a linesman. So like you'd work on the power lines.
Oh, yeah, that is it's like nothing wrong with that.
I think I heard that it paid well. So I was like, I can do
isn't
that.
that thing that, you hear being a Sparky is like, basically you'll have a mansion in like 4 years and you're like, maybe I should just drop out and do that. Yeah. Does your kid want an oddly specific job? Not one of these big dream jobs that you hear all the other kids talking about. Just something very specific. It's
a very realistic kind of job.
Yeah, realistic, specific. You're kind of like, why? That doesn't really make sense to me. But 13 24 10, tell us about it. If you get in touch, you'll win the draw for Nova's first class and 50K. Nicole, what does your son want to do? Is it oddly specific?
Hi, Ben and Liam. Yes, my son would like to open a bonsai tree shop.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Have you got a bonsai tree at home or?
No, we don't, but he loves the Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid.
Because, you know, most people would watch Karate Kid and go, oh, I want to be a karate chopping hero, but he just was like just obsessed with the bonsai in it.
Thanks for that, Nicole. Megan joins us now. Does your kid want an oddly specific job?
She wants to work at the bedding department at Harvey Norman.
The bedding department
at Harvey Norman.
Yeah. Not only does she want to work there, she apparently already does. And she works 1 day a week, and she gets paid $5,200.
Wow. Could you imagine? You'd be so proud of your little girl for finally getting her badge at Harvey Norman, and they put her in electronics and just destroy her little heart, crushes her, and she has to work for another 10 years to work her way into the bedding department.
Thank you very much, Megan. We're joined now by Andreas.
Hi, my name's Andres, and when I grow up, I want to work at KFC because my mum and my dad don't let me eat KFC.
Oh, I'd love that job too, Andreas. I'd love that job too.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.